There's a noticeable difference when I take a walk outside and breathe the fresh air from the woods or a park, compared to when I'm stuck inside my house all day. Although it's hard to put into words, the difference is there. The Awair Glow C air quality sensor quantifies the difference and lets me know what's missing in the air that I breathe. I've been looking to get an air purifier in my apartment, but before I bought one, and before I recommend anybody out there buys one, it's important to know if the indoor air quality is really that bad. Sure, most people won't need an air quality sensor since their air is decent. However, having the data to be able to intentionally improve my home and know for certain if the improvements made an actual difference was important to me. So I bought myself the Awair Glow C from Awair. They have a line of products to let you measure the air quality. The Glow C is their entry-level, small air quality sensor that also works as a smart plug. More on that later in this video. First, let's take a look at the actual product. Awair's packaging is absolutely stellar and makes it feel very elegant. Instructions are minimal and should not be very confusing. You simply plug it in and go to the app to finish setup. What's wonderful about this air quality sensor is that it's designed so you can place it wherever. You don't need to worry about what surface you'll place it on. It simply goes into a wall outlet and it just works. Its muted colors and small size will also make it blend in whichever room or location you'll put it in. The front of the device covers the plug with an aesthetic plastic cover that has the company's logo. One thing to note is that it kind of jumps out of the plug when you pull on it. It's fine, it shouldn't break or anything, it's just annoying to drop, so be careful. On the very top is a button you can press to manually turn on the plug or turn it off. It's a very handy little switch. There's also a night light up there. This is really useful to place in hallways or bathrooms to get the right amount of light needed for any late night wandering around the house. In the app, you can customize the color of the night light. It's a full RGB light, so pick whichever color you prefer. You can also adjust the intensity of the light or simply turn it off if it's too distracting. Throughout the day, or even at night if you so choose, the light on top can let you know the overall air quality by lighting up one of three colors. Green, if the air quality is good. Yellow, if the air quality could be improved. Red, if the air quality is bad. It actually asks you what you're looking to get out of from this sensor. General, allergy, sleep, productivity, or baby. That way it can give a more customized feedback. I set mine to productivity. Overall, I'm not very sensitive to the air quality, so I don't really notice much issue even if it turns yellow. I only really check on it or do anything if it lights up red. If you don't need that immediate level of feedback, I would just turn the light off using the app so it's not that annoying. You need the app to initially set it up and to see the real-time data from the device. It measures temperature, humidity, and volatile organic compounds. Only on their larger sensor does it measure carbon dioxide and 2.5 particulate matter. Anyways, temperature is the most useful out of all of its measurements since it allows me to know the temperature of different areas of my apartment. Especially during the winter, it lets me know what rooms my heater is overworking itself and lets me be smart about when I need to heat my home. The air can feel stuffy when the humidity is too high, and really low humidity is horrible for the skin. The humidity sensor is great since subtle humidity differences are hard to notice, and this lets me stay on top of it before anything becomes an issue. In terms of volatile organic compounds, this measures chemicals in the air. How harmful it is hard to measure, but if you are cleaning the bathroom and use a lot of chemicals, it helps to let you know if you have proper airflow and are keeping it at a safe level to breathe. Inside of the app, the data is kept and shown in a graph so you can view how the air quality has changed throughout the day. I like how they are consistent with the colors. Same as always, green is great, yellow could use some work, red is awful. You can also select a weekly view so you can see how it's changed over several days. This is incredibly useful to find patterns in my air quality. I found out how my air quality always dipped during the worst traffic hours since I live in the city. You can view each data field individually to try and gather some analysis. In the app, it also has some useful tips. It just points out some key differences, like how today was on average 2 degrees colder than yesterday, or what percentage of the day's air quality was good. It's nice to have the app point out these things so I don't have to spend any time trying to identify a problem. I just look at what it points out and decide if it's something I want to address. One thing to note if you are really big on data is that within the Awair Plus section of the app, it gives you maximum customizability. You can connect it to smart home services, excluding HomeKit, to automate some commands. One major benefit is that Awair has a data export function that you can schedule to export every certain number of days. This is really useful if you want to do your own higher level analysis. It's not needed for most people, however, I'm extremely impressed by how easy they've made it. Really, the only issue I have with this device is that it's the second generation of their smart plug air quality sensor. The first edition was called the Awair Glow, while this is the Awair Glow C. The major difference is that it had a much needed sensor upgrade to make the data more reliable, which is great. However, it only has a temperature, humidity, and a volatile organic compound sensor. The previous version had a carbon dioxide sensor. Why is this important? Well, I have their larger version of their product that has a carbon dioxide sensor, and it's really useful to know when the CO2 is high since it makes the body feel more groggy, and it can be fixed by simply opening the window. Which is why I think an air quality sensor is more needed than an air purifier. I've also noticed that while cooking, it can make the CO2 go up. These small things make me think that it's not the ideal sensor for a bedroom where you spend a large amount of time in, or a kitchen which is a CO2 source. Instead, it's better suited for a shared living space or a bathroom. It's great, but since it's missing a much needed sensor, I would upgrade if this is intended for your bedroom or office space. If air quality is something that concerns you, or even if it's something that interests you, I recommend getting one of these little sensors to give you the peace of mind and to know the quality of your air. Personally, no other device looks as great as Awair's. There are some that have a few extra sensors, but for most people out there, this is probably the air quality sensor to get. Thanks for watching.